Cancer. There is a distinction I want to draw at the start of this reading because the distinction sits at the center of what is happening, and without it, the rest of what I share will not land properly. The distinction is between attraction and love. People sometimes use the words interchangeably, but they refer to fundamentally different phenomena, and the phenomenon I am picking up around you is the second one, not the first. Attraction is what happens when one person notices the surface qualities of another and finds those qualities appealing. It is fast, it is responsive to immediate signals. It can be intense, but it does not require knowledge of the person beyond what is immediately observable. Love is something else. Love requires time, attention, exposure to the actual person across multiple contexts. Love is the result of having taken in enough of who someone actually is to have arrived at a settled response to them. The settled response is what we mean when we say someone is in love. It is not a flash. It is a conclusion. Someone has arrived at this conclusion about you. The arrival has not been quick. It has been the result of sustained observation and accumulating recognition. You may not have realized how much of you they have actually been taking in. People who are paying close attention to someone they care about often do so quietly, without making a show of it. The attention has been operating in the background of your interactions, gathering information, forming an integrated picture, allowing the picture to develop into the response that has now stabilized. The response is love, not in the abstract sense, in the specific, settled, fully arrived sense. I want to walk you through what their love for you actually looks like on the inside, because the inside is more revealing than any external behavior I could describe. There is a particular quality of preoccupation that occupies a person when they are genuinely in love with someone. It is not the manic, restless preoccupation of infatuation. It is steadier. The person they love takes up a portion of their attention even when nothing is actively happening. The attention is not anxious. It is more like a low background presence, a sense of you informing how they move through their days. They do things and notice that they are noticing how you would respond. They encounter situations and find themselves wondering how you would handle them. They have moments of small pleasure and notice the impulse to share the moments with you. These are signs of love, not signs of attraction. Attraction is intermittent. Love is sustained. I want to address something specific that may have shifted recently in your awareness of this person. They may have, in the recent past, said or done something that struck you as a slight escalation in how they were engaging with you. The escalation may have been small, a comment that was warmer than usual, a piece of attention that was more focused than the situation required, a moment of presence that was more substantial than what came before. You may have noticed the shift without fully naming it. The shift is real. It is the externalization of the interior arrival I am describing. The arrival reached a point where the previous level of engagement no longer matched what they were actually feeling, and the engagement updated to something closer to the truth. Further updates will follow in their own time. I want to share something about the nature of what they are experiencing, because the experience has its own quality that distinguishes it from other experiences they may have had. They have perhaps been in love before or thought they were. The current experience is different. The difference has to do with depth. The previous experiences may have had more intensity, but they were less rooted. The current experience is rooted. It is settled into a place in their interior life that does not feel temporary. They are aware of this. They are aware that what they are feeling now is structurally different from what they have felt before. The awareness is part of what is producing the depth of their current state. They know this is real. They know it is not a passing phase. The knowing is producing both joy and a kind of trembling, because love of this depth carries weight, and the weight requires them to be careful with it. I want to take a moment to address you, because the description of someone being in love with you can produce complicated responses, and I want to honor whatever you are feeling. There may be a part of you that is moved. The moving is appropriate. Being deeply loved is one of the most significant things that can happen to a person, and the registration of it tends to land in the body before the mind catches up. Allow the moving. There may also be a part of you that is uncertain about how to receive this information. You may not have been fully aware that someone was arriving at this depth of feeling for you. The arrival may match something you have been hoping for, or it may not. Either response is valid. Whatever you feel in receiving this is correct for you in this moment. I want to address something about how the love this person is experiencing for you has been informing their behavior, because the behavior gives you information about what is real. They have been, in subtle ways, organizing their life around you, not in any unhealthy sense, in the sense of allowing your presence to inform their decisions. They have been thinking about you when they are choosing how to spend their time. They have been considering what you would appreciate when they are making small choices about how to show up. They have been investing energy in becoming or remaining the kind of person who would be worthy of the connection with you. The investment is not a performance. It is the natural response of someone who has decided internally that you are someone they want to be in alignment with. The alignment requires effort, and they are willing to make the effort. I want to mention something specific about how this person regards you. The regard is not just emotional, it is also evaluative. They have, over the time they have been observing you, developed a high opinion of who you are. They consider you a person of substance. They respect your judgment. They admire qualities in you that they aspire to cultivate in themselves. The respect is not sentimental. It is grounded in actual assessment of how you have shown up across the situations they have witnessed. People can love each other without respecting each other, but the love that is produced is fragile. The love this person feels for you is built on respect, which makes it sturdier than emotion alone could make it. The sturdiness is one of the markers of love that can hold over the long term. I want to share something specific about how this love has changed them. They are not the same person they were before they fell in love with you. The change has been gradual, but it is real. They have become, in subtle ways, more careful with what they say, more attentive to how they treat the people around them, more committed to the values they hold. The change is not about you in the sense of pretending to be someone different to please you. The change is about who they want to be in light of the connection with you. The connection has activated their better instincts, their higher aspirations, their longer term commitments to themselves. They are more themselves now, in a fuller way, because of having known you. This is one of the gifts that love produces in people who are open to it. You have given them this gift simply by being who you are in a way that they could respond to. I want to address something about the particular form their love is taking. It is, in their case, becoming connected to a sense of long-term possibility. They are not just feeling love for you in the present tense. They are beginning to envision possibilities for futures that include you. The envisioning is not yet finalized. It is in early stages, but the direction of the envisioning is clear. They are picturing what life would be like with you in it, not as a fantasy, but as an actual scenario that they are starting to consider seriously. The seriousness of the consideration is one of the elements that distinguishes this from infatuation. Infatuation does not produce serious long-term consideration. It produces brief, intense impulses. What is happening here is sustained, considered, and oriented toward a future that includes you in a substantial way. This is Cancer Tarot, and I want to slow down at this point because I sense the magnitude of what I am describing may require some pause. Being on the receiving end of someone's serious, depth-rooted love is not a small thing. It changes the texture of your life regardless of how you respond to it. Even if you do nothing differently, the fact of being loved at this level becomes part of the field around you. People notice when someone is loved deeply. The noticing affects how others treat the loved person. It produces a kind of subtle bestowal of regard that travels with you. You are now someone who is, observably, the recipient of significant love. This is a quality that operates in many situations, beyond just the relationship with the specific person who loves you. I want to mention something about the timing of how this is going to express itself. The interior arrival has occurred. The expression is in process. They are now figuring out how to express what they have arrived at. The figuring out involves practical questions. When to say what? How much to say at once? What context to choose for the saying? They are not sure of the answers yet. They are working them out. As they work them out, you will receive expressions that are more substantial than what came before. The expressions will probably begin smaller and grow larger over time as they develop confidence in how their love is being received. Pay attention to even the smaller expressions. Each one is a step in a sequence that is moving toward a fuller declaration. I want to address what might be involved in the fuller declaration when it eventually comes. The declaration will probably include several elements: an articulation of what they have come to feel, an acknowledgement of how the feeling has developed, a consideration of what they want for the future, a request, perhaps, for some kind of response from you. The request will not be coercive. It will be an honest invitation for you to engage with what they have shared. You will have the freedom to engage at whatever level is right for you. They are not seeking to extract a particular response. They are seeking to have the truth of what they feel be visible between you, so that whatever is going to happen between you can happen in light of the truth rather than in spite of it. I want to share an orientation about how to receive an expression of love at this depth in case the receiving feels uncertain to you. The first thing to know is that you do not have to match the expression with an equivalent expression of your own in the moment. People sometimes feel that they should reciprocate immediately when love is declared to them, and the felt obligation can produce performances that are not entirely truthful. You are not obligated to match. You can receive what is offered, take time to consider, and respond when your response has integrated. The other person will respect your need for time if they are who I am describing them to be. The respecting is part of what their love includes. The second thing to know is that you can receive love without losing yourself in it. Some people fear that being deeply loved will require them to give up something essential about who they are. The fear is sometimes rooted in past experiences where love came with conditions that were not sustainable. The love being expressed to you here does not come with such conditions. You are being loved for who you are, not for who someone wants you to become. The receiving will not require you to become someone you do not want to be. It will require you to allow yourself to be known and valued, which is different from being shaped or changed. The third thing to know is that being loved at this depth is something you can grow into receiving. You do not have to be fully comfortable with the receiving from the start. The comfort develops with practice. Each time you allow yourself to receive a small piece of what is being offered, your capacity expands. Over time, you can hold more. The expansion is one of the developmental gifts of being in a relationship with someone who loves you well. You become more capable of receiving love in general, not just from this person, but from the world as a whole. The capacity is permanent. It will continue to serve you. I want to address something about what this love means for the kind of relationship that may develop. Relationships built on the kind of love I am describing tend to have particular qualities. They are sustainable across the changes that come with time. They withstand difficulties without dissolving. They produce mutual flourishing rather than mutual depletion. They become foundational rather than peripheral in each partner's life. The relationship that may develop between you and this person is likely to have these qualities, if you choose to engage with what is being offered. The choice is yours. The qualities are part of what you would be choosing. I want to mention something specific about your own feelings. I sense that you have feelings for this person that you have not always allowed yourself to fully acknowledge. The feelings have been there. Perhaps you have been protective of them in the way that we sometimes protect feelings that feel too consequential to fully feel. The protection has had its uses, but the protection may now be working against you by preventing you from receiving what is being offered with the openness it deserves. You can let some of the protection down. You can allow yourself to feel what you actually feel without immediately analyzing it or contextualizing it. The feeling itself is information. Trust the information. I want to share something about the kind of life that becomes possible when two people who love each other in this way come together. The life is not free of difficulty. No life is. But the life is characterized by a particular kind of partnership in facing whatever difficulties arise. The partnership produces resilience that neither person could produce alone. The resilience does not come from removing obstacles. It comes from facing obstacles together, with the foundation of mutual love supporting both partners through whatever they encounter. This kind of partnership is rare. It is also possible, it is specifically possible for you with this person if both of you choose to engage with what has been forming. This is Cancer Tarot. And I want to take a moment to mention something about the wider context of what I am sharing. The development of love between two people, at the depth I have been describing, is one of the more significant events that can occur in a human life. It produces changes in both people. It shapes the trajectory of years that follow. It affects not just the two people directly involved, but also the people around them, who benefit from the stability and warmth that genuine love produces. You are at the threshold of this kind of development. The development is real. The threshold is real. The crossing of the threshold is something you will participate in your own time, in your own way. The participating does not have to be rushed. It just has to be honest. I want to address something about the question of whether you are ready for this. There may be a part of you that wonders if you are ready, whether you are healed enough from past situations, whether you have done enough work on yourself, whether you can hold what is being offered. I want to address these wonderings directly. You are ready. The readiness may not feel certain to you, but it is sufficient. Readiness for love does not require perfection. It requires sufficient self-knowledge to know what you want, sufficient capacity to receive without immediately deflecting, and sufficient willingness to engage with another person honestly. You may not have them in their final, fully developed form, but you have them in working form. The working form is enough. The relationship will further develop them in ways that the relationship itself will reveal. I want to mention something about what is happening on their side that I have not yet fully described. They are, in addition to being in love with you, also trying to figure out how to be worthy of you. This is a different effort from trying to win you. Trying to win you is a kind of pursuit. Trying to be worthy of you is a kind of becoming. They have been working on themselves in light of who they understand you to be, in order to become someone who can meet you at the level your substance deserves. This work is admirable. It is one of the markers of love that takes its object seriously. They are not just wanting you, they are wanting to deserve you. The wanting to deserve is producing real changes in them, beyond what they would be doing if they were merely pursuing. I want to share something about how their love for you has affected their capacity to love themselves. Loving someone at this depth often expands a person's capacity to love themselves because the experience of valuing another person fully gives them practice in valuing in general, and the practice carries over to how they treat themselves. They are, in subtle ways, being kinder to themselves because of having you in their life. The kindness toward themselves is something they may not have realized you produced, but it is real. Your presence in their life has helped them be a better steward of themselves. This is one of the more beautiful effects of love. You give it, and the receiver becomes better at receiving from many sources, including from themselves. I want to address a possible concern. There may be a part of you that wonders whether their love is sustainable, whether it might fade when conditions change, whether the depth I am describing is something that lasts. I want to address this. The love that has been forming is built on substance, and substance does not fade in the way surface level reactions do. The love will evolve over time. Different aspects of it will become more prominent in different periods. But the underlying recognition that you are someone they want to share their life with is not going to vanish. It has settled too deeply for that. You can trust the settling. The settling is what makes the love reliable. I want to take a moment to talk about how to respond to all of this in your daily life because the information may be substantial and the practical question of what to do with it is real. The first thing I would suggest is to allow yourself to receive what is being offered in whatever forms it currently takes. Even small expressions of their love can be received as small expressions of love rather than dismissed as casual gestures. The receiving will deepen the connection between you, and the deepening is part of how the relationship moves toward its fuller form. The second thing I would suggest is to pay attention to your own feelings without trying to immediately decide what to do with them. Your feelings will reveal themselves over time. You do not have to have them figured out today. The third thing I would suggest is to continue your life. Do not put your life on hold while waiting for them to make a fuller declaration. Living your full life is part of what makes you the person they have fallen for. Continuing to live it is part of how you remain that person. I want to mention a small practice that may be useful in this period. When the person we have been discussing comes to mind, allow yourself a moment to acknowledge the connection, not to analyze it, not to wonder about it, just to acknowledge it. Yes, this person is in my life. Yes, something is forming. Yes, I am part of what is forming. The acknowledgement is brief. It does not require any particular emotional response, but it deepens your own awareness of what is real, and the deepening serves the connection. The connection benefits from being held on both sides, with awareness rather than with avoidance. Here on Cancer Tarot, the closing emphasis I want to leave with you is this: you are loved. The love is real, settled, and oriented toward a long-term future. The love did not develop because of anything you performed or arranged. It developed because of who you have been across the situations the other person has observed. Your being is what produced the love. Your continuing to be is what will continue to produce the love. There is nothing you need to do to maintain it. There is nothing you need to do to deepen it. Your simple continuing presence as yourself is the entire requirement. The simplicity is the gift. You are about to receive expressions of love that will, in their cumulative effect, change the texture of your life. The texture will become warmer, more grounded, more supported. The change will not require you to become someone different. It will only require you to allow what is being offered to land. The landing is the practice. The practice is gentle. There is no strain involved. The love is approaching at a pace that is right for both of you. You can trust the pace, you can trust the approaching, you can trust what will unfold from the approach. The person who loves you has done significant work to become someone capable of loving you well. The work is real, the capacity is real. The love that is being offered is the result of sustained internal effort on their part, combined with the natural response of someone who has encountered substance in another person and recognized what they encountered. The recognition is accurate. You are who they think you are. The you they have fallen for is the actual you, with all your particularity. You can trust their assessment of who you are. They have not idealized you. They have seen you. The seeing has produced the love. The love is being directed at the actual person you are. You are wanted. You are valued. You are seen. You are loved. These are not abstract claims. They are specific facts about the situation you are currently in. Receive them as facts. Allow yourself to live in light of them. The living will be different from the living that came before, when these facts were less visible to you. The difference will be a kind of soft expansion, more room, more breath, more sense of being held in the world by something other than your own efforts. You have been carried by the goodwill of someone who has loved you in silence. The silence is ending. The carrying will continue, but it will become more visible. The visibility will be a gift. Receive the gift. Walk forward in the awareness that you are not alone in your life. Someone is with you in ways that operate beyond what either of you have yet fully articulated. The articulation will come in its own time. Until it comes, the underlying truth is already operative. You are loved. You are wanted. The love is real, settled, and directed at the actual you. Trust this, live in it, allow it to inform how you move through your days. The informing is the practice. The practice is enough. The rest will unfold gently and reliably as the connection between you continues to develop into the fuller form it has been moving toward. The love is real. The arrival has occurred. The expression is in process. You are being loved by someone who has done the work to love well, and the loving is yours to receive. Receive it. The receiving is the entire art of this period. Practice the receiving. The practice will become natural. The natural will become permanent. The permanent will become the foundation of the next chapter of your life. The foundation is being laid. You are inside the laying. Stand here. Let the laying continue. The completing will be visible soon. Walk forward with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are loved. The knowing is correct. The being loved is correct. The future this will produce is good. Receive it. It is yours.